Welcome back to Say What with James and Lakesia. We are here to give you guys our mini reviews and rankings for the month of January. We'll do the same thing for February until we get caught back up in March. But to kick us off, James, what movies did we see in January?
We saw We Bury the Dead, Primate, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and Mercy.
And to kick us off, we are going to rank these movies from 4 to 1, 4 being the worst. And I have to say that We Bury the Dead was the worst. I mean, I don't even think it was suitable for Tubi. It basically is after an experimental U.S. weapon devastates Tasmania and turns some victims into strange, partial, conscious, undead, basically the Walking Dead 28 years later type creatures. There's
same type vibe, but not.
Right. There's a lady named Ava, and she wants to journey across the island searching for her husband. And she volunteers on a zombie. Basically, she volunteers on a survival mission or to go get bodies out of houses. And this starts out as a zombie survival story, quickly becoming, I don't even know. We have Ava who hooks up with Clay. They steal a motorcycle. Then she's tricked into thinking that Clay runs off, and she's taken to the house with another guy. Yeah. He's telling her that they're talking about their spouses. She has to get away from him. Ava ends up going to the hotel where her husband was at, finding out he was having an affair. Then they see the guy's wife walking down the street or whatever. She gives birth to a baby, and Ava takes the baby. Now, my thought process is, okay, you don't have anything to feed the baby. The baby's going to be making noises. You can barely take care of yourself, but okay. And how did the baby of the zombie not be a zombie?
Well,
that's what happened 28 years later.
It was like they took something from 28 years later.
Right.
Just tried to have that movie come out before.
Right.
It did, but...
And my suggestion is to skip that altogether. It's not even worth watching. It's the worst movie that we saw in 2026. And then the next movie that we saw that...
No, you going with your ranking. You got... What for third?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, sir. The next movie that I thought was number 3 was 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Because, for one...
Yeah, I got that 3.
I only wanted to see it because I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was still in it because...
Well, I thought it was going to be better because I remember the end of the 28 Years Later.
With Jimmy.
When Jimmy and his posse, his crew, with their tracksuits on, I thought it was going to be...
Now, he is the vampire from Sinners.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, his crew was...
crazy.
Yeah.
They were crazy.
They were certainly crazy. And then we have Spike. Now, we all remember Spike. Spike was getting beat down.
Almost dies, and somebody had to save him.
Somebody always had to save him.
His mother, and the other 28 years later.
In this movie, he was the least. And
he had to get saved again. That's what Spike does. That's his MO.
And they were like Satanists or whatever, and they saw the doctor.
Yeah, they were preaching they preaching devil was their God.
And they saw the doctor, and they thought that he was like Satan.
Well, what's name was Jimmy was telling them that was a sign. Some of the one girl in there was she started kind of figuring out that Jimmy won't.
That they were in the cult.
Yeah.
That they were in the cult. But Spike, he knew the doctor, and the doctor was, basically when Jimmy found out that the doctor who wasn't who he said he was, he didn't have a choice but to go along with it. And then he saw Spike, and he was trying to save Spike, and basically the Bone Temple just, no.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
It definitely was. And then my second movie that we saw in January was Primate. Now, all I have to say
Primate's
is
number 2 for me too.
People own it a monkey, a chimp? You already know it's gonna go bad. Yeah. So we have this family. The mom originally bought the chimp into the family.
Communicate with human, be able to communicate herself, because her husband was deaf.
So the mom passed away. We have the older daughter that's coming home from college.
That doesn't come home often.
And she brings her 2 friends with her. And the brother.
Yeah.
And so when they get to the house, the girl, one of the friends that had never been there before was like, y'all have a monkey, Yeah. She's thinking like me. But he was acting crazy towards her because there was a mongoose in his enclosure.
That it was had rabies.
But in Hawaii,
they don't supposed to have rabies.
Yes. So I was just like, I already know monkey
Goes
these people
crazy.
Yeah, because in Hawaii, they have this big beautiful house. It's off of a cliff. The pool is just crazy, and you have a lot of people that probably can't even afford this lifestyle in their native Hawaii. But anyway, I digress. But you know what happened? The dad has to go on a business trip. The monkey, chimp, whatever, goes crazy. Okay, and
rabies.
So then they're forced in the pool, and the brother of one of the girls is like, "Hey, let's throw him over the cliff."
I'm trying to push him off because he was sitting at the other end, the cliff spot. So
because
he tried to push him
the
off.
monkey was scared of the water once you get rabies or whatever. But yeah, that went bad for him. He didn't make it. So then they had to stay in the pool. They met some little guys on the plane. Mm. They bought the guy.
And they had already called him and told him to come over.
Right. But now, was that before or after the other friend? Spoiler alert. Got gone. She got killed too. So basically, everybody.
That was before anything happened. They was sitting there, and because the one girl liked the brother of her friend, and the other
no,
girl,
but I'm saying when those guys, by the time those guys came, there was the other friend. Yeah. She was already gone. So we got it because the monkey had bit the younger sister on the leg. He was just freaking out. He had already killed the vet or whoever came over to give him some medication, and the dad had told him to keep him in the enclosure, but it was too late. He was just going crazy, killing everybody. And so the guys came over, a young black guy and a young white guy. They got too. You walk in somebody's house, hey, nobody's here. That's a sign right there. Yeah. Should have left out, but they stayed and they got. And so then the other friend, I'm not saying she didn't deserve it, but she got too. Because if I know the monkey is opening the back, I'm out. But anyway, the dad comes and saves the day. So, yeah. But when you have a wild animal, these things they might happen.
Chimps are strong, too.
So, remember Jane Goodall said, so like us. But he was so much stronger.
Yeah.
And so
that leaves one movie that we both agree on. Mercy was the number one.
Yes.
We've seen in January.
And basically...
starring Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt was the star. He was a officer who had helped implement this new AI system that basically was a judge, jury, and everything, and it could basically predict your the outcome of your case. It could tell whether you were lying or anything, and unfortunately for him, he
got framed and he was on it.
Somebody set him up with it. Yeah. So there was all kind of twists. Your boy Toby from This Is Us was in there, and his wife ended up getting worded. So they framed him to make him look like he did it. But unfortunately for him, spoiler alert, he was an alcoholic. He had a bad temper. The wife was having an affair. So it was not looking good for your boy. But it did work out in the end. And surprise, surprise, the very person that you said did it at the beginning. So Mercy was definitely one of these things that if we're not careful, we'll mess around and find ourselves at the mercy of this AI. So, because it's crucial. So, out of all the movies we saw, Mercy was definitely number one. And We Bury the Dead was definitely dead last. So, thank you guys.
It's got a shot being dead last at the end of the year, too.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And if you saw these movies, how did you rank them? And what was your favorite one? And what was one that you wish you would have passed on? Thanks for watching. Take care.